What's going on, everybody? Jake here with Bandit Fitness Equipment, and today we're going to be talking about two of the TuffStuff home gyms. Their SXT 550, more commonly known as their hybrid gym, and their more classic AXT 225. We're going to go over some of the different exercise options on both units, some similarities, and how these items are different, and hopefully give you a better idea of which one is the best fit for you. So let's get into it. So we're going to start here in the SXT 550, which debuted about 7-8 years ago as kind of a response to a lot of people wanting more of a mixture between your more machine-defined and functional training movements. And that's why they call it the hybrid system. So the basics of the system is you're going to have an arm bar through here that can be used as a chest press in the forward position, or you can rotate this back to be used as a seated row. That's your machine-defined movements. That's pretty common across home gyms. But the way that this machine is going to be different is that you're going to have dual cables at the top, the middle, and the bottom. Now that's going to allow you to do more functional training style movements and adjust it more towards your body versus something that's been predetermined. On the AXT, it's much more of your classic home gym design, meaning you're going to have the classic features like a lat pull down at the top, leg extension at the bottom, and then your press arm. And it's very much the same as how the SXT works, where you can basically adjust right through here, and now you have a seated row position. Now I can do a lot more back movements, but my lower back is supported. So this is good if you want to go a little bit heavier, but you don't want to put the lower back in a jeopardizing position. So if we're looking at adjustments on the SXT, you're going to have quite a few. You're going to have 3 adjustments on the seat pad for different heights. The back pad is going to have both adjustments forward but also angles. So again, you can bring yourself closer to the system here or further away. And then on the pressing arm, this is where the most functionality is going to come out of it. You're going to have 6 points to adjust, obviously in the forward position for your bench press, but you can also rotate it back as far as you like into more of a chest supported row. You'll have adjustments down here. This will give you for your height. And then you're going to have an adjustment here, which will both allow you to bring yourself further forward. So if you have shorter legs, this gets you closer to the leg extension portion. But this will also rotate. So if you're doing certain movements that require angles like incline press, you can rotate it up this way. If you want to do something more straight on, you can just have it directly in this position, just up and down. Now, one thing the AXT has that the SXT does not is a center pulley for abdominal movements. And this is exactly what you would expect. One of the big advantages and one of the added things on the hybrid gym and what makes it so unique is that along with having all of your traditional functions that you would expect on a home gym, you're going to have dual high pulleys, dual mid, and dual low. Now, this is meant to give a cross then between a more traditional home gym, but also a functional trainer. And to kind of give you an example of it, if I'm doing a bench press with the press arm, which is pretty common, and you're going to be in this position right through here, press forward, pretty straightforward. But there's not a lot of adjustment for me to do if I had really wide shoulders or really narrow shoulders, and that's where the cables are going to come into play. Having these cables in the middle allows me to do a lot more what we call a user-defined movement, meaning I, the user, am able to kind of create the movement I'm doing. So in this case, I can actually not just do a bench press forward, I can do a bench press to the front, I can go a little more neutral, I can actually bring it down, hit more of the lower chest, I can now go up, hit more of the upper chest, I can go right into a flying motion. There's a lot more proprioception happening here because not only am I having to use the weight, I'm having to keep everything in line. There's a lot more that I'm having to focus on. One attachment that used to be an option for the AXT that is actually standard now are these outrigger arms, which allow you to do more cable movements like you would on a functional trainer, similar to the SXT. Things like cable bench press, flies, you can quickly adjust them from an incline, a flat, a decline. Now that this attachment is a standard piece on the AXT, it makes the unit itself much more compelling. One of the big benefits of having dual pulleys at the top is it gives you, honestly, a much wider variety of exercises that you can do. So instead of having a single point, you have 2 individuals, which means I can do lat pull downs coming to the middle, I can then go really wide, I can do independent. But if you do miss having a more traditional center point, TuffStuff already thought about you. So they include an adapter right here for you. It's got 2 holes on the end and then 1 on the bottom. You connect this at top, and now you have a single point for your more traditional lat pull downs. Now keep in mind that while it does include the adapter and all the different handles, it doesn't actually come with a more traditional lat pull down bar. The only negative, if you're trying to compare this to the SXT of, again, a pro and a con list, is with the hybrid gym, you do have 2 points at the top that allow you to do more independent movements without ever letting go of the handles. You can do that on the AXT. You just have to do everything on one side, let go, and then switch to the other side. Most home gym systems are going to have some sort of a leg extension piece on the front, but the hybrid gym does give you a little bit of an extra aspect to it, and that's that you have your leg extension here like you would expect, but you are able to adjust to the top, which gives you now a seated leg curl. Normally on a lot of home gyms you have to do a standing version, which is good, it's better than nothing, but this is nice, it adds a little more of a premium piece to a premium product. The leg extension on the AXT is a little more traditional. You're gonna have your leg extension in this direction here. Honestly, it feels real good, real smooth, but you don't have the ability to do a seated leg curl like you would on the SXT. To do a curl on this position here, you'd actually have to turn around and do more of a single leg, one at a time. It feels pretty good. It's not as nice as the hybrid gym, but again, you still have that option, just in a different type of setup. One thing that's really cool about the SXT and how they handle the shrouds, which are metal, which is really cool, is that this hides pretty much the majority of all of your internals, like your pulleys and your cables, which gives us a very clean, slick design and a much more premium product. The AXT is still a really good looking machine, but you will have more of the cables and pulleys out there in the open. A really popular option you'll see with both the AXT and the SXT is the leg press attachment. And this is a really good leg press because compared to some other competitors of what you might see of the leg press they put on their home gym, this leg press is pretty much the exact same one that comes off their commercial line. The only difference is a few things on the framing and how it connects, but it's really good. It's got a bit of a curved foot plate, so it's a little more comfortable on your feet if you don't want something too iffy on your ankles. You start up here and then you just have a lever. You drop down to where the comfort zone is, you're locked in, then you push all the way up. This isn't a lot of weight for me or anything, but so we've got a 200-pound stack. Now it's a 1-to-2 ratio, meaning that the weight I'm moving right now, about 80 pounds, it feels like 10, is actually going to feel more like 160 in total. So you could actually get a maximum of 400 pounds of resistance on this. And if you want to do something like calves, just bring yourself further back. Start at the bottom point. This is a rare time you're going to see me working calves. While we don't have it shown on the AXT unit, the leg press attachment that we have affixed to the SXT can fit on this unit as well. So if you want the leg press, it can fit on either unit. On both the SXT and the AXT, you're going to have a 200-pound steel weight stack, which for most people, that's going to be fine. That's 200 on the main unit, 400 pounds of resistance on the leg press, but there is no option to upgrade that. So if you are someone who needs more than 200 pounds or you need more than 400 on a leg press, it's just something I would keep in mind when you're considering these two options. The TuffStuff AXT and SXT hybrid gyms are both really good options. When you're choosing between the two, I think it's going to come down to what types of exercises and variation you want in your workout. The SXT is probably best if you want more of those functional training movements due to all of the extra pulleys, or the AXT is better if you want something a little more simplistic and straightforward. Whichever unit you decide to go with, we highly recommend finding a store where you can test these out side by side. If you want to test out these products or any products in a similar category, or if you have any questions about them, feel free to come in and check out our showroom in Largo, Florida, or leave a comment below. We'll answer all that we see. Like and subscribe, and until next time, train hard.